Welcome, beloveds. I say welcome to those who are joining us for the first time, and welcome back to those of you who've been with me through this journey for these past 3 videos. I want to thank you for your comments, your awarenesses, your revelations, your understandings that you've shared with me. And for those of you who are just joining us, I want to encourage you to watch the entire video series because we explore and examine some very powerful questions. Questions like, who are you? What's the matter with you? And how do you know when something's the matter with you? And what are you supposed to do when you know that something is the matter with you? Now, this video series has been about really helping you to understand who you are so that you can become better at just doing that. Defining who you are, understanding who you are, valuing and honoring who you are, and then doing the work that is required, the inner work that is required to make you better. Better at just being you. Better at standing in the truth of who you are. You see, your real self knows the truth. No matter what mask or what face you wear in the world, your real self knows the truth. And there was a time in my life when I acted like I knew a truth that I didn't know. And the truth I didn't know was the depth of my value and my worth. You see, I had already been an author that had sold over 6 million books, 14 different titles. I had already been on my own television show. I had traveled around the world. I had spoken to hundreds of thousands of people, and still I did not know or value my own worth. So I had a very big opportunity to go forward and to be on what was once called the Oprah Winfrey Show. Yes, and I went on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and Miss Winfrey asked me back again and again and again, and eventually I became part of her Change Your Life faculty. And it was all good. I had written 13 books. I had traveled all over the country. I had done her show repeatedly, but I didn't know my own sense of worth. So what happened? I tried to live in a place that I didn't believe was true for me, and eventually I crashed and burned. Crashed and burned by leaving the Oprah Winfrey Show and going on to another network and doing another show that didn't even survive a season, all because I didn't know my worth. Now, it would have looked like all sorts of external circumstances. Oh, there was a miscommunication between me and Miss Winfrey, and the other network was offering me a lot of money, and why shouldn't I take a big business deal? No, It was about me not knowing my own worth. Me not being able to stand in the miracle of being on the Oprah Winfrey Show repeatedly among honored teachers without having to work hard for it, because that was what I had been taught. The matter with me was that I didn't know how to receive a gift, a blessing, without working hard for it. So when things came to me easily, I blew them up. It's self-sabotage or procrastination or forgetting or whatever it is. That opportunity went away because I didn't know my worth. That's the kind of truth we have to tell each other. We have to be aware of it, we have to acknowledge it, and we have to accept it. And then we have to look at what makes me live less than my truth. Is it because it's not safe for me to tell the truth? So many of us live a life as children where we tell the truth. The big people get mad at us. Is it because we don't feel supported in being the great, grand, glorious, wise, beautiful, creative people that we are? Or is it that we just never felt loved enough to know that we mattered? Oh, these and so many more questions we're going to look at. We're going to examine, we're going to explore, and we're going to expand in the new online course that I'm offering you, Iyanla's Fixins. Now, we start out in that course looking at self, but there is so much more. We're going to look at relationships. We're going to look at vision. We're going to look at trust. We're going to look at forgiveness. We're going to look at these 5 major areas of our lives, because these are the places that we have the greatest amount of difficulty and that we get the greatest amount of power and courage. And we're going to do all of this by embracing and practicing and working with principles, spiritual principles, building blocks to a higher consciousness. And oh yes, we're going to define and we're going to look at consciousness. We're going to look at emotion, because we are going to look at and deal with and work through the things that are required so that you can live your life, your greatness, your beauty, your creativity boldly, courageously, unapologetically, and have fun in the process. That and so much more is going to go on with you and for you as a result of Iyanla's Fixin's online course. Let me tell you why I created this course. Recently, I was away from my email for 2.5 weeks. When I left my email, I had 113 unopened emails. When I came back, I had 6,784 emails from people, 90% of which were people asking me questions about how to fix their lives. Listen, never ask anybody permission to do what you need to do in your life, and never expect anybody to know more about your life than you do. That's your life. If you can't live it, how in the world do you think somebody else is going to be able to live your life for you? I created this course because I wanted you to have the information, the tools, the skills that you needed in the way that I teach it, so that you never again have to ask anyone what you should do in your life. I created this course because I want you to be able to see and feel and experience the shift in your consciousness when you start living the truth of who you are, when you begin to acknowledge what's the matter with you and what matters to you, and that when you have a toolbox of principles, of skills, of information that you can put to use in your relationships, in your work life, building and healing your mental life, your emotional life, your spiritual life, and your physical life. It's time for each of us to become the best of who we are so that we can serve the world in a better way. Now let me tell you what's going to be included in this course. You're going to pick a principle that you're going to work with, that you're going to learn, that you are going to teach, that you are going to share. This course is going to include meditations, exercises that you can do at home, and a question and answer session with a large audience whose members, like you, are absolutely doing the work. The other thing that you're going to get in this course is a new awareness of who you are, what matters to you, what's the matter with you, and how to bring yourself back into balance. I am so excited for you. And just like you've joined me on the journey of these 4 videos, I hope and ask and encourage and invite and offer to you the opportunity to join me on this online course. Iyanla's Fixins. See you on the other side.